This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Eiffel TV in association with Correct Mecklin's Gym Marbella. We're in my studio here in Sheffield. With me I've got Adam Booth.
In room dining in your man lair.
Services.
Good.
Do you know what, I've always wanted this type of thing, like a chat show type thing, but I don't know, you know, like there was a couch and me there, and then I'd get like a selection of random boxing people and just put them all into one pot. I think that would be really good.
How long have you had this warped idea?
For a while. But don't you think it would be good to get like people like, I don't know, say you.
You could certainly set your sights higher in life. If I'm being honest,
Why?
if I was your dad, I'd say it's alright for a part-time job now, son, but set your sights higher.
What do you mean? What, to have your own chat show?
Wait, look, we're in room 332 at the Mercure Hotel in Sheffield.
I'm checking out today anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Are you?
I am checking out today.
332. And
I'm checking out today.
You've closed the curtains.
I have, yeah.
And you've left these on the table. It's very sweet, I've got to tell you, it's very sweet how you've angled the chairs and everything.
Yeah, it's for the shot, isn't it, obviously?
Can we talk about the lighting?
Yeah, so the light was too bright for Adam. I could have dealt with it.
I wanted, what's her name? Liz, I wanted the Liz Taylor effect. I wanted it sort of blurred.
Okay.
So how did you achieve that? Or how did I do it?
By putting some toilet roll on top of the light.
It's toilet roll.
That's very professional. Very professional. How are you this fine Friday morning?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You've got a semi-big fight tomorrow. So Chris Eubank was meant to be like a co-feature ahead of tomorrow night, and then he was moved up to headlining the show. So how's it all going?
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that?
Exactly like that.
Okay. No, but you've a new relationship.
Oh, how's the relationship? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the show. The relationship with Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in its early stages, like I said. I've taken a back seat on the front seat and just looking at what he does, how he does things, how things work, if there's things that I think could be improved. And then after the fight on Saturday, I'll make all my notes and sit down and put my thoughts across and see where we go from there. It's
not really a massive surprise you linking up with Chris Eubank Jr. because I remember from 2-3 years ago, I remember actually specifically you being on ringside talking about Chris Eubank. I think that was about 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah, but that's giving somebody praise and actually working with them.
I don't hear you give anyone praise apart from your own fighters. So.
Praise you? Really?
No, that's a joke.
Don't pay attention.
No, that's a joke. No, but it's not really a massive surprise because he's been to your gym, hasn't he? He's sparred at your gym, and there has been some sort of link there. So
he's not an anonymous fighter to me. I'm aware of his abilities and capabilities, and also the type of energy that he carries, and most importantly, the desire and the determination is almost second to none, and it's very impressive. And as a coach, you want to work with fighters that have these elements to see if you can build a working relationship, and that's it's a stage that I'm at the moment.
It seems to be the Billy Joe Saunders defeat is not being disregarded, but it has happened, and it has happened not relatively, sort of mid into his career. Does it matter that he's already lost to Billy Joe Saunders for someone like Chris Eubank? Well,
I'm sure it matters to him. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to lose that fight. It was a close fight, but Billy Joe did. He did nick it. He did win it. But it's just a fight, It's all part of his career. And for a long time, I've always said that you can only assess someone's career when it's all said and done, not while the journey's going on. But of course, everyone's got an opinion, and now with social media and all these different outlets to express your opinion, everyone's an expert nowadays. But everyone's got their own life to live. And Junior's living his, doing what he chooses to do, and that's be a fighter. And every time you put yourself in a ring, regardless of what the level is, there's a chance of winning and losing if you're a real fighter and you want to test yourself. If you just want to take fights that aren't challenging, that there isn't a risk of losing, then you're really not going to have a career worth talking about. He was just a fight. He lost to a very good fighter, on points in a close decision, and his career will move on from there.
He believes he won that fight. You've obviously seen the fight. What did you think?
I thought Billy Joe won it by 1 or 2 rounds. There was a couple of rounds that were pretty objective, but in fairness, I thought Billy Joe set about the fight very quickly. Junior was a bit slow to get off. If he feels he won, so be it. But the judges saw otherwise. It's in the books, it's in the past, and it's time to move on.
It's a new chapter for Chris Eubank. Since the Children fight, it's kind of not gone missing, but obviously, I don't know. I'm not going to use the word missing, but inactive, shall we say, since February. He's back now. It's complete change. He's with Metro, he's with Sky Sports. You've come on board, so all these ingredients. What can we expect?
I think you're going to see Junior on a nice platform with Sky's publicity behind him, and a chance for people to watch, enjoy him as a fighter, love or hate him. His name, his father, and that whole family name carry a love-hate relationship with the public, which is a fantastic thing, because if people love you or hate you, it's irrelevant. They're going to watch because you've stirred up some type of reaction in them. The worst thing is to have people indifferent about you, because that really doesn't get people's juices flowing and get.
You said this to me ages ago.
What?
You said what you're saying to me now. You said about.
I feel a bit indifferent about you.
Yeah, you said it about me, but you did say that the worst thing you can be is that in-between person that people either really like and care about, or they don't really give a whatever about, and just sitting right there in the middle. That's the worst person to be.
Well, in what sense? As a fighter?
In the industry we're in.
Well, I'm in coaching.
Yeah.
You're in
video journalism.
Video boxing journalism. And fighters are fighters. And as a fighter, you're the showman. It's theatre. It's violent form of theatre, and you want to stir people's emotions. And like I say, there's a very fine line between love and hate. And if you look through history, look at Muhammad Ali, and when he first burst onto the scene, how everybody hated him and wanted him to lose. And over the years, everyone ended up loving him, revering him, and referring to him as the greatest. Because there is that thin line of love and hate, but whichever one it is, it's quite a strong reaction, rather than looking at a fighter going, oh, what do you think of him? And you start end up watching him because he doesn't really provoke a response. And I think Junior, certainly with his name and his background, and also his fighting style, as a man in his own right, he's going to stir up some reactions.
Is it to do with Junior? Because I listen to Junior talk in press environments and stuff that he maybe posts on social media, and I don't really think it's anything that in your face, and that way it can come across a little bit arrogant perhaps, but is it more to do with his father?
Don't know. What do you think?
I think it is more to do with his father, yeah.
Whatever. There's not an indifference. I think it's a bit unfair on Junior to say that, because he comes across as an articulate young man who's got a lot of fighting energy about him. And if you look at him fight, he puts on a show, right? When you watch him box, it's not a run-of-the-mill type thing. From round to round, you're not quite sure what's going to happen, and it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seats. And he's an entertainer. He is. He wants to be an entertainer. And growing up with a father like Eubank Senior, you can see how that type of influence has borne out on him. But I don't think you should. I think it would be very disrespectful to say that he's not a fighter and entertainer in his own right.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. No.
What I'm saying is that
I'm not saying
you weren't. You did it as a question. You weren't accusing him, but that was the question.
Yeah. And
I think that, especially as he grows and evolves into a championship level fighter, he's going to very, very, very quickly burst through and make his own reputation and his own career.
I watched some interviews from yesterday's press conference with English, his father, and the questions that were asked about the corner, as in regards to tomorrow night. So there's yourself, there's English, and there's Ronnie Davis. Who is he taking his instructions from? Now I listened to Junior talk, and he said that it will be a combination of all three of you. So when the time is right, that he will receive instructions or directions from all three of you. Then I listened to English talk, and he said that it will be down to you. He will receive his guidance and instructions on the night from you. So which one is it?
We'll see.
No, but it's interesting because we've seen.
It's equally interesting for me because it's my first rodeo as part of Team Eubank. So, like I say, we will see. If you remember, I said all along that the important thing for me was to take that slightly backward seat and just watch and look and listen and see how things are working and moving, whilst giving some input I felt was really valid. And this is the first fight as part of that process, and we will see.
So is it possibly a question? Well, it's not a question. It'll be evident come tomorrow night, I suppose. We'd say. Yeah, you're right.
The most important thing is that he gets in the ring, he performs, he shows what he can do, and people are entertained.
Okay. So can we expect that we've seen his father obviously come into the ring before, etc.? Is that sort of thing still going to happen, or
do you think the public want to see him in the ring?
I think they actually do. I actually think they do. I think it's a massive talking point. Hopefully, it doesn't overshadow the actual fight itself. But when it has happened, it has been the major talking point from the night. So why not? Why not?
I'm a firm believer that there can only be one voice. There can only be one coach. That's my belief and my conviction, regardless of whose voice that is. And I would only ever work in a scenario where there is one voice.
Okay. There was a story this week that come off the back of Golovkin's win over Lemieux over the weekend, in reference to Junior. Junior's number one with the WBA at £160. Is it as ridiculous as some people are suggesting that he would want to target Golovkin, or is there a big difference between him targeting him in 2 years and him wanting to fight him today?
There's a massive difference between fighting Golovkin today and fighting him in 2 years' time.
His father says he would beat him today.
Okay, I remember seeing an interview with Junior day before yesterday, and I thought he answered the question very well on Sky Sports, where he said any fighter worth his salt should want to test himself against the best. The best at 160 is Gennady Golovkin, and as a fighter who wants to test himself, he would like to see himself challenging and test himself against Golovkin. But in the same interview, he also said that he was a developing fighter, and in maybe 18 months or 2 years down the line, that's what he could see himself doing. That's what he said. And in 18 months, 2 years' time, Junior will be 28, and Golovkin will be 35.
So we don't know.
At the moment, he's got Tony Jetta on Saturday night.
Are you a fan of having a fight after a fight already in place?
Am I a fan? I mean, this the business. It happens all the time. You have fights lined up, one after the other. That's the boxing business. What I don't allow myself or encourage my fighters to do is take your eye off the ball that's right in front of you, because once that bell rings, that moment is the only thing that matters, and you need to prepare and focus solely for that moment. And it can be hard at times, especially when there's bigger fights. You know, you're kind of like in a fight that's a semi-final or what is commonly called a warm-up fight. But basically, when someone hits you on the chin, those phrases fall out the window, and you have to be prepared for the fight that you're in, and want to be involved in the fight that you're in. And that's something you know, any trainer worth his salt would always encourage the fighter to focus on.
So would you have no conversations about Gary O'Sullivan at all prior to this build up to Jeddah?
I had conversations with Senior and with Eddie Hearn about Spike O'Sullivan a few weeks ago, when the expression was there that they wanted that fight to happen. So I did have that conversation. You have to, that's the business, but you don't allow it to affect the preparation for the fight in front of you.
I mean, training wise, obviously ahead of this fight.
Don't allow it, no, doesn't, not even mentioned in the gym.
Okay. It's going to be a great fight though, between him and Spike. Talking to Tony Jetta, he was like...
Doesn't he look like Johnny Drama?
Yeah, he does. You picked that out actually, he does. But he, when he was...
Play it down, he really looks like Johnny Drama. I think, you can't do good editing where you show a picture of Johnny Drama. And
I could probably stick it in.
Can you do it?
Could probably stick it in.
Do it, it's good.
It's a fine from Adam. Because he was sort of asked whether he was overlooked ahead of this fight, and his response was, well, of course I'm overlooked because they've already announced his next fight, which is a fair point, I suppose. From a promotional side of things, he's probably being overlooked. I'm not saying you're overlooking, but we shall see what Tony Jetta brings.
You could have said that about the Super middleweight tournament. Oh, are you overlooking this fight with Mikkel Kessler because your next fight is already lined up?
Yeah, but it's different. It's a tournament style thing.
And a career is not a tournament style
No,
thing?
but that's different, isn't it? That's just no different from prize fighter. Sort of.
Every day
you beat him, but you know you're going to fight the winner of
we were sitting there rubbing our heads thinking, right, okay, so what we got to do now is Spike O'Sullivan be strong, he can tuck up strong legs, can dig a bit, can be a bit unpredictable, and that's all we talked about. We didn't mention Tony Jetta. In fact, that's all we're going to talk about. In between the rounds, we're just going to talk about Spike O'Sullivan. We won't talk about Tony Jetta.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what Tony Jetta. I can understand why he was saying that because they've obviously December 12th.
But it won't be Spike O'Sullivan's head that Junior's aiming his punches at tomorrow night.
No, obviously not.
That's the bit that he probably wished would be overlooked.
Possibly.
It's going nowhere. We've got to liven up.
Well, hang on about that. This is fine.
It's not. This atmosphere is really sleepy.
Do
Are you trying to look? I've sussed you.
What?
Someone said this to me about the other day.
What?
Your very cunning, soft, manipulative ways of luring people into your... You called it a studio.
It is a
it's
studio.
a man lair, isn't it?
It is a
I
studio.
see what you've done. You've groomed me. There you go. That's the heading for this video. KUGAN CASSIUS grooms Adam, or attempts to groom Adam Booth.
No way.
Look, look in here. Chocolate fudge cake, apple and blackberry crumble. Man, you're good. You're good.
Look, there's other services I can provide. Yeah. But...
We're doing my laundry.
Yeah.
Tuck me in.
Yeah.
Watch a film with me. And then we go to the privilege room. Hold up. For an extra 25 quid.
Andy Lee.
Yes.
Andy Lee.
Yes.
Why are you making noises?
That's what you did.
Oh, Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders, the Xmas Cracker. 19th December.
Brilliant. That. Brilliant.
Is that sarcastic?
Move on.
Is it sarcastic?
No.
It was quite good.
Brilliant.
The Xmas Cracker. They had a press conference yesterday. You weren't there, you were in Sheffield, so you had a... Which one should I be at?
No, not really. I mean, this one was planned well in advance. That they only announced the one in London a couple of days before.
Can't be at two places at once.
Can't be.
No, I was here with you. James is over there with Andy.
Which goes to prove that anyone can do your job.
It's not my job, it's our job.
Okay.
We're a part of a team.
You're
part of the team.
sure.
I mean, how many press conferences has there been?
You're trying to get undressed in front of me now?
No.
Is that the next phase?
No, it isn't.
The next level?
I've just noticed you're the one that turns this weird. Because all I did was I just pulled that up like this.
Oh, okay.
And
I was just trying to go along with the
you-
joke that we sort of mutually agreed.
What, that we undress each other in the middle of interviews?
No, that we kind of made a joke about, because you said that you don't like the serious interviews with me. You wanted to get back to the jokey ones. That
No,
people
not back to that.
That's what you said.
When?
Yesterday.
Did I? What? I wanted to talk about Andy Lee.
I'm going to count to 70 really slowly in my head, and once I reach 70, the interview's over.
What?
Go.
But you're going to talk in that 70?
Yeah?
You're going to talk?
Yeah.
We'll just finish off by talking a little bit about your world champion middleweight fight that you had.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on.
I'm waiting for the question.
Just talk. You're just throwing me off track now. This is when you get...
18. Oh, what, the deuce?
Do you know
Oh, was
what?
that your next booking?
Do you know what? This is the thing that really annoys me in the hotels. She didn't even knock.
Huh?
She didn't even knock.
Your madame didn't get it lined up properly.
No, but she didn't.
Go and have a word with your pimp.
She didn't even knock. She just opened the door.
Have a word with your pimp.
Wait, listen.
Hey, you're trying to run a business here.
No, I'm just saying. We could have been here with our partners or anything. Just opens the door. No, but not talking about me and you. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, right. Now you're going to be complaining about a woman who's grafting for every penny, making beds, picking up people's dirty socks and
I
wiping up
understand
the
that.
stains from the toilet bowl. All she's doing is grafting to make a living, and you're moaning because she didn't do that. She just actually put the key in and opened the door.
All right.
You
Okay.
can
Let
see
me
I
ask you a
put-
question.
I
Let
put
me
the
ask you a
sign-
question, right? What would have happened if you was air drying yourself right in shot?
If I was what?
Air drying yourself.
What's that?
Well, just you come out the shower and you was obviously had no clothes on, air drying yourself.
I normally towel dry.
Yeah, but if you were air drying yourself and she
Do
just
you
opened
air
the
dry
door.
yourself after you've had a shower?
What's that?
Do you air dry yourself after you have a shower?
If I've got time, it's nice.
You don't think that would take longer than towel drying yourself?
What's that? If I've got time,
To air dry yourself?
yeah.
Oh, because that's your method of choice, is it?
No, it's just like if
Would
I've
you
got
do like a Wonder Woman spin with your arms out for
It's
maximum
not.
drag?
No, but how bad is that if someone, listen, whether
fucking weird.
whether it be man or woman, they just open the door. There
Right.
should be some privacy in hotel rooms.
Okay,
It's
you're the one
ridiculous.
complaining. She should be going to her manager and saying, you know that 6'5" Sri Lankan in room 332 just walked in and he was naked doing a Wonder Woman spin in the centre of the room. Well, I said, oh, sorry, sir. He just said, no, don't worry, carry on. Just air dry myself.
No, but listen, I can understand a little advance warning, like how hard is it to do that? But just
would-
to open the door,
If you were
come
air
on.
drying yourself, would you have actually heard a little tap? Because
Probably.
the air would have been going past your ears.
Oh, I don't literally mean air dry myself, do I? I just meant like a slow, like, you know.
Carpet grind?
No,
What?
just like...
How do you dry yourself? Do you do it like a? You know when a dog's got an itchy bum? It tilts itself and drags itself. Is that how you dry yourself?
No, I just mean like, it just could have been taking my time to dry yourself.
I'm the one that turns these interviews weird.
No, I'm just saying. I think that's really like, might have a word with him about that. You shouldn't just open the door. I think that's bad. Listen, I wouldn't, if I had the key to your room, I wouldn't just put the key in and go, all right, Adam. I would knock, so would you.
How would you say hello to me?
Hello, Adam.
I see you more as a door scratcher, not a knocker. You're a scratcher.
Well, I've come to your door and what?
Scratching at the door. Can we do that interview now?
Oh, I'm a knocker. One of them. Anyway, I think we have a way. Do you know why I think she just done that actually?
Because she was hoping to see
No,
your
'cause-
Sri Lankan balls swinging freely in the air, slightly damp whilst drying on the air drag.
That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Alright, anyway. We have a weigh-in to go to now. Why I think
No, Andy Lee Billy Joe Saunders.
Well, I asked you about that 10 minutes ago.
You didn't ask me anything.
I did. You went, I'm going to do 70, I'm going to and then I'm going to leave.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that guy.
Right.
Don't be that guy. Come on, ask me the question.
Andy Lee Billy Joe Saunders.
Great fight.
Finally, confident this will happen 19th of December in Manchester. It's been, I asked you before whether it's been a frustrating period, and it must have been because it went from Limerick to Manchester and now we're going back to Manchester. So
But it's the nature of the sport that we're in.
Yeah, of course.
You can't have substitutes step in for title fights like that. And it's a contact sport and people get injured. It's just, it's not the first time we've experienced this, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last. And you just got to move on from it very quickly, not let it bring you down too much. Just in the belief that you know that the fight is going to end up happening. Just stay focused on the job. Andy Lee is a consummate professional, so it hasn't really had any impact on him. We just readjusted and he's now back into the swing of things.
Is it a 50-50 fight?
You tell me.
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it's very difficult to pull a clear winner from these two. Yeah, for many reasons.
And then that is the great thing about matchups like this.
100%. 100%. The weighing is going to start actually.
The weighing, yeah.
The weighing in. I'm going home.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going home, and I'll probably catch up with you next week.
I'm going to go air dry myself.
It's been KUGAN CASSIUS with Adam Booth for iPhone TV.